comedian Jim Norton, with the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. This is a special presentation of Jim Norton Obsessed on the Boneyard, only on Sirius XM.
That was Life Won't Wait off of Ozzy's new record, Scream, new CD. And what we're doing right now, I'm kind of giving an overview. This is an interview I did with Ozzy a couple of weeks ago. It was a one-on-one, just to reset in case anybody's just tuning in now or waking up because I've fucking bored you so far. And we talked, and I was supposed to throw to songs and then come out of songs, but Ozzy and I just started talking, and we just rolled for almost, 55 minutes without stopping. And I didn't want to risk fucking it up, like throwing to songs. So I'm not going to go in there and pretend he's here right now and throw to it. So I'm just going to break the interview like this since it's not live. And, tell you what songs we're going to play, and that was Life Won't Wait, and it was very good. So now we're going to go back to the interview. Are you comfortable with, because, you've won the Grammy, and you've been declared a living legend, and now Sabbath is in the Rock and Roll Hall, and all of these amazing accolades. Are you the type of guy who's comfortable with all the positive, or is it feel a little odd to have so much positive and so much love?
I was my own worst enemy. I'd get positive results and demolish them with a bottle, But my greatest love affair of my life is my audience. I really love them guys, it's like without them I would not be here now. All the accolades and the awards and the star here and the star there and the induction into the Hall of Fame here and there. It's great for my ego, but I must confess I like getting an award. Sure. But the greatest reward I can get is somebody coming up to me and saying, "I bought your album. It's great." That's what my music is, the main thing. I don't particularly like doing TV. My wife and my wife does that, But unfortunately, there's no record shops anymore, so I can't really meet the fans there.
Right.
When I did the book tour, promoting my book, I was in stores and signed books and met a few of the people there. It was really I love doing that.
16 weeks on the bestseller list, I think. I could be wrong, but it was a multiple week run on the bestseller list. And it's another medium you've conquered. Best-selling book. And it's like with Sabbath, metal was created. You changed what rock music was. Mm-hmm. And then with the Osbournes, there was television and reality TV, but that became the watermark. Everybody wants to be you've changed two of the 3 or 4 major mediums in entertainment.
Well, it wasn't a conscious decision. The Osbournes was like an experiment that went wildly crazy, Because how it came about, we were the most requested rerun for Cribs. And then they said, why don't you do an extended version of Cribs on a weekly thing? So went from one thing, and then it was out,
I heard somebody say that you did a pilot in, I believe it was London, called This Is Not Your Life.
Something like that.
And they loved you so much, they loved your honesty, that somebody saw that and said, we have to do something with this guy.
I don't know whether it was the extended version of Cribs or... We did a thing for when we rented Don Johnson's house from years ago, and he kept asking reruns, and we got to see that again, and it was just one of them things that happened. I'm not a genius by any sorts,
But you've always been honest, and as a fan who's loved you since for 30 years, I've always enjoyed the honesty, and I've always appreciated it. And it's nice to see everybody else kind of catch on and say, "Oh, that's what a rock star should be—a guy who just tells you the truth."
Yeah, but what? That is just something that I don't want about what happened with my wife and me last night. But somebody asked me a question. Why? Because someone's going to catch you out even. But you didn't tell them the full story, I just see all the gossip columns. They go, yeah, we'll get the info now. I'm not a saint by any short measure. I'm not a saint. I make mistakes, and I probably will continue to make mistakes. But right now, I'm okay living with myself.
Are you surprised with? You're obviously doing so well, and I know Jack is doing great with documentaries, and Kelly was very successful on Dancing with the Stars, and Sharon's a superstar. Are you amazed that all of a sudden, like, you don't have to be the only guy anymore? Everybody in the family is doing very well.
Yeah, but Sharon loves TV, so my first love is my music and my rock and roll. It's what started me off in the world. So she's always trying to get me on to a next television show. Last year I did that pilot for the Reloaded, which I hated every goddamn minute of doing that.
Why did you hate it?
I just don't like doing TV, and I'm not like this guy with a bow tie, with a silk suit, walking around the stage. I don't like it. It gives me the creeps, you know.
Do you ever regret opening up as much as you did on the Osbournes and showing them?
I mean, it's reality. I mean, Hollywood reality and our reality. I mean, at the end of the day, we were running out of reality, you know. You start to wonder, what if we stage this a bit? And then I go, yeah, that's I've had enough of it anyway, you know.
The beautiful thing, I was really happy. I had the album. I got Scream a few days ago, and I've been really loving it. And it's nice to tell you that and mean it. And it's just tremendous. Is it harder the more successful you are to know what's good and what's not because people around you are afraid to be honest?
But I mean, I play it to my kids. I play it to my staff in the office. I don't go out to bars or clubs or anything, so I don't really keep my ear to the ground. So I have to allow them to say, "Oh, well, I think you should do the drums better louder than that, and the voice is too loud and this." So I have to. I mean, I don't like it, but I have to accept it because I still listen to the Beatles albums. That was like 45, 50 years ago, you know.
And they're your greatest influence.
Oh, yeah.
Your inspiration.
I mean, people say, "What new bands do I listen to?" I listen to not many when I'm doing my own album because if I like it, it'll interfere with my music, you know.
Do you prefer to go song to song? I mean, I've never written a song, or will you like conceptualize a whole album, or will you just go one song, one song, one song?
Well, no, what happens is Kevin would come up with an idea of a riff or something, and then I would work on it, and sometimes we'd finish it, or other times we'd leave it and come back to it very often, you know. So we sat and I'd go, Life Won't Wait was one of them. We go, we worked on the musical side of it, and then I said, that's a bit not really an Ozzy thing. And so about a month or two later, he said, let's try doing this, and we went back to it. And I like surprises myself, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, some of the greatest songs I've ever worked on, like Paranoid was the last thing we ever did for Paranoid. It was going to be called War Pigs, the album. Then it's the guy in a pink leotard and a sword. But then Paranoid came out, and that was an instant success. Then No More Tears was another one. We were in pre-production, and Mike and I started playing this bass run. It just came out of nowhere, and yet we've been working on the album for months. And right out of the blue, this song, No More Tears, was born, you know.
When you weren't looking for it, there it was.
I believe it's a gift. We don't write it, we just receive it, you know.
Good time to jump out of the interview and get ready to play another song. How does anybody not fucking like Ozzy Osbourne? How does anybody not like this guy as a guy? He's just such a sweet, honest, open guy. All right, now I sound like a queer, but he really is fucking great. And this is one of my favorite tunes off the album. I don't know if Ozzy and I have talked about it yet in great detail, but it's called Crucify, and it's kind of a dark song, kind of cynical, and really killer, one of the best beats on the album. So this is Crucify.